What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
All Purpose Builds.
It's episode 30, so it's day 30.
Um,
It's been one hell of a month.
Yeah, it was definitely a very eventful month for us. Definitely trying to get the. You guys didn't see a lot of me, I will say, but there was some stuff going on that I had to take care of. But even trying to schedule all this stuff in.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. I literally just been going crazy, just editing videos every day, like trying to get ahead when I could. I mean, when we first talked about this, we were supposed to be a couple, like at least 2 weeks ahead, but somehow we were like 2 weeks behind the entire time.
So a lot of these videos you guys saw was actually live, like recorded the night of, sometimes the day of.
Yeah.
It was fun doing it. We obviously the results were.
It varied. I think that like some of I mean, first I wanted to just say like for 30 for 30, we almost hit it. We missed about I think it was like 15 minutes one night, and I think it was the first night we were painting the car, or the second day we were painting the car. We ran super late, and I had to go home and make the video and edit it and post it. But by the time I posted it, I think by the time it rendered, both on like our editing software and on YouTube, it was already way past 12. So unfortunately, that was the only day that we didn't post a video on that specific day, but it was still less than 24 hours.
And not only that, but we said we were doing 30 videos for the month of June, which as of you guys seeing this video, we have completed.
Yeah.
So
So it is 30, but I mean, like, it would have just been nice to like.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like so off because like the first couple videos that we already had like set up, those were like at a set time every day, like the first week, and then it all hell broke loose.
yeah.
We just lost track of time so fast.
Yeah, and then the reality of it is too, like us doing certain things we couldn't, certain things we had planned, we ended up ditching, which
Yeah.
kind of threw a wrench in everything. You
I
guys
mean,
were,
just postponed it a little bit because
Yeah.
we're still gonna come. It's still gonna come to you guys. Now we just have more time to go about it because
Yeah.
there are certain things like, for example, like the 95 GSR that literally has the front end cut off. Like that car requires way more time to work on. That it'll be hard to make like a 10-minute video in a day.
Yeah.
So.
Even to the point where we get the stuff to even line up, like
You guys saw the jigs, and I spent 2 hours making a jig that didn't work, and then I spent the next like 20, 30 minutes welding something with I was basically welding with I might as well have been there with like a battery and a rebar. Like, it was terrible.
but we enjoyed the process. I guess you could say that consistency, which proves your theory, consistency definitely has an impact on this because we have seen the largest spike in subscribers throughout this process.
46 as of right now.
Yeah, so we gained 46 subscribers in 30 days, which to some people may not seem like a lot. To us, that's
28 days because
Yeah.
YouTube's analytics is 28 days.
Yeah, so which most likely puts us at roughly about 50. We'll call
yeah,
it.
which is
We started at 120 something.
Yeah, I mean anything above one a day. I think one a day was not even a goal of ours.
Yeah, no, we weren't as far. We actually did this with no. We had a goal to do the 30 days, but we didn't have any
like,
expectations.
No, we just wanted to basically put as much content as we could out there so we could stay relevant and get consistent and work out our schedules to see what works for us, and at the same time kind of like be able to put it out there so we get more more visibility, more like impressions, as YouTube analytics would say. Because before we were doing so much things that wasn't bringing anything in, like we were posting them on like all our like Honda Facebook groups, like local groups, and I ended up getting kicked out of one, and it never came with much. I think if anything we were putting like too much of our information out there to the wrong people's hands.
Yeah, but so out of everything, I will say, we've also now we could use this data that of what we've done over the last 30 days and see what people like seeing versus what wasn't as responsive. Which it's crazy because some of our simplest videos are also our most effective videos.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, like the super review. Cousin, we were literally just at a family gathering house, and we were gonna go record the video on his Civic on the FA5, which as of now is sold, guys.
Yeah, so that car did not make it through the store.
Not even through the month. So
Yeah.
so yeah, we were just gonna go record that video, and he was there with the car, and we were just like, "Can we just borrow the car?" He said, "Sure." he's always down to like let us drive the car, and it worked out. That video, literally we recorded all the rollers on the way to the location, and then we recorded the driving, like the POV, and as we were going back home, and we set up both cars there. We recorded them maybe less than 30 minutes, maybe
Yeah,
both cars.
and what I'm looking at the analytics right now. The Supra was actually our best video.
Well, it was our most viewed video.
Well, as far as analytics go, yeah.
It was our most viewed video, but the video with the most retention, I believe, as of right now, I think it's Cousin Gary's car, or the
SI.
The SI.
The
The
SI,
was a
yeah.
close second, yeah.
The SI is actually second in views,
It's
which is
also-
crazy.
But also the retention was pretty high.
Yeah, the
I mean,
retention was that.
we're talking about like two minutes, 30 seconds, or 2 minutes, which is a lot higher than the rest of our videos.
That's an average as well. So the car with the highest retention is one of the new cars, which is actually, I want to say that this is one of the cars that isn't even good. Oh no, your green
R.
Type R is the
Yeah.
car with the highest. So now I want to say that car is also the nicest car that we've shown you, up to date, as far as a car that we purchased. Well, I didn't purchase that car's not mine, but Brother Lewis, that is the nicest car, and also the most it yields the most amount of attention. So if you think
Well,
about it,
second to the Supra, yeah.
I think that I think
I mean, in that video, honestly, like I put that video together in like minutes.
Yeah.
I think like that video was just rushing. It was like a Saturday morning, I believe it was, and I was just rushing it. Like it was, I think the quality was like extremely poor compared to like the ones that we did on like your
Yeah.
Civics. With those videos where like we were both there, we like set it up nicely. We were at a nice like quiet park, just like today, and it just like it was like the production was just so much better. I just felt like completely disappointed for a car that was like such an iconic car and such a meaningful car to me. I just felt like I wish that we could have like produced something much nicer for it.
Yeah, and which I think that so based on what we're seeing, and we've both been watching the analytics closely because we want to know what to do, what not to do. The second to the car that produced the best retention was us painting that red car.
Yeah.
So it helps us. I want to say, painting is one of the most frustrating things that we can do because it's so time consuming.
Extremely time consuming.
Yeah.
I think I realized like why paint is so like why good paint is so expensive.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
paint jobs, sorry.
Yeah, it's so time consuming. I mean, realistically, do we like doing it? Yes. The amount of effort it takes, I enjoy it.
I don't enjoy 1 second of it. I guess like the ending, like when you see the car done, like it looks good.
It's sad, but then again, then it dries, it cures.
Exactly,
And
and that just like kills it. Because
You
then
gotta-
you think like, yeah, now all we gotta do is put like the bumpers on and just like kind of polish it, but it's not. It's now we gotta like carefully, meticulously wet sand this car, try to get rid of all these swirls, then polish the car just to try to get like some orange peel out that's probably in the base coat anyways.
yeah, I don't know if we're. Painting is we'll do engine bays all day.
Yeah, an engine bay is like such a tight space that's full of things that like
A lot of it's covered.
not only that, but like I think like we have that like pretty down pack where we could provide a decent quality. I wouldn't say like a high quality, but like a very
It varies, yeah.
a very decent quality like paint job inside an engine bay, and it's just because we have so much practice with it. We know what works, what doesn't work.
We know where to angle the gun, how to angle it.
and like that only comes again from practice, from messing up a couple other cars. Like I think one of the cars that like probably taught us the most was probably that black car that we now own again.
Yeah, no,
Because-
that car was actually our best engine bay to date. I think next to my blue GSR.
But the RS has a really nice engine bay too.
Yeah, that too. The only so we've definitely painted enough bays to where
And then they like it varies because like I think we painted the red the RS engine bay last year, and then we painted Cousin Eric's Supra at like earlier this year, but that was just like I said in the video,
Yeah.
like he was kind of like he had a time frame that he needed to meet, and he also couldn't remove certain parts of the car, so it made it really uncomfortable to work in there,
Yeah.
and also it was super cold.
which is one thing we actually usually try to do is get everything out of the engine bay. We've learned We've tried to shortcut that. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So for the most part, we actually try our best to remove everything from the engine bay, do that extra little bit of work, so we have a bare surface to paint on. Well, I stripped the whole that blue EM1 that we painted. Everything came out. There was not a single thing.
Not
There
even
was
a
not
sucker
even
with it.
yeah. And I would say so. That threw us for a whirl, but when we finally got it packed, that engine bay also came out very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it always goes down to practice makes perfect, and we're not aiming for perfection. We're just aiming for like knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
Because with that knowledge and experience, we could provide a better quality, a better and final product every single time that we work on it.
Yeah, which is definitely a goal of ours. I mean, what else did we do in this month?
I mean, we did a lot. We showed you guys 8 new cars, many of which I think over half of them are not going to be here in the next month or so
Yeah.
because 2 of them were parts cars that were basically starting to button up, taking the last pieces and getting them picked up to go to the junkyard. 2 of them were flip cars, so that's the green car, the green Integra, and the
RS.
and the RS,
Mhm.
which then leaves another 6 cars, which then Brother Curvis already got rid of the Civic, so that's 5 cars. So that leaves us with only 3 cars that are there. One of them being the BMW, which we haven't touched in years.
I don't even know where the keys to that car are.
The green car that I bought a year ago, I still haven't touched, and that's a car that probably won't get touched for some time. And what was it? And then your SI, his SI that he had for years ago.
Oh, that car's staying. That car's
For
not
now.
going anywhere. No, that car won't go. It means too much to me.
I don't think like
I've considered selling it.
I don't think I can like truly like believe that because up to date you haven't kept anything.
I have this weird relationship with cars. I like to enjoy them, and then I like to get something else, whether it's the same chassis. I also enjoy the process of building cars. One thing that I've learned that I don't think I'll go down this rabbit hole is car that needs body work. I don't think we'll paint it ourselves. The black SI we may paint ourselves,
And the black GSR
Yeah.
we'll do ourselves too. I actually
but I also
breaking
make.
news, I think we're gonna change the color on that car.
Of course we are.
So-
Not surprised. But realistically, I have this issue keeping cars in general.
Yeah. So I mean, let's see next time we go through something like this. Let's see. In a year, we'll go through all the cars that are here and see maybe we could go through another new car week and let's see how many of his cars are still around. So right now we're down to the BMW being the longest lasting car, and then we also have the Civic who he's had for a couple months now.
And I've done absolutely nothing to.
Yeah, he's just been driving it and stuff like that.
I
So,
actually don't drive that car, which is why I don't know if I'd keep it.
well, he has to drive it now because he sold his only other running car.
Still not driving that car. It's
Yeah.
crazy that even under these circumstances, I'm still not driving this car.
I mean, if you think about it, like
It's the liability.
last time we recorded, you had a truck, and then somehow that truck is gone. I mean, obviously for personal reasons, but the truck is gone,
Yeah.
and now you have the Civic, which is like a nice daily, like a nice like enthusiast type daily, and now that's gone, and then you have like a complete clunker. Like
I
I'm
don't
talking
think it's a
about-
clunker.
This thing has more, like
Brother.
this thing has like 300,000 miles, if not more. It has like the body, for the most part, it's in pretty good condition, but like it shows.
It
its age.
resembles its, yeah. I mean, so again, that SI just means a lot to me. I have an emotional attachment to it. I thought about it, and then I just can't bring myself to selling that car right now. And I don't say that anywhere in the. I think that's one car that I will keep. Now, as far as modifications, I do not think that that's going to be a car that I actually modify. I think that that's a car that we'll do a restoration on, get it to where it needs to be, slight modifications, like maybe suspension. I will throw another long block in there. I'll rebuild the original motor to that car, but I will throw another long block in there because the car's just way too slow. It makes all the right noises. B-Series is probably, as far as noise and drivability, the B-Series is definitely my favorite. Superior to the K-Series in
Reliability is top, number one.
Nah, I don't know.
What?
K-Series.
All right, let's talk about something, right? Remember last year we went on a cruise, and we were going up some like nice.
My
mountains.
alternator flew off.
Okay, so right.
That was a.
right.
I'm not
that
going to
flew
talk
off.
about the
I
brand.
can tell you this, right? I've driven a B-Series Integra 600. I've driven 2 separate B-Series Integras over 600 miles one way, and
That
had
was a one-off
no
situation.
twice.
And
it
when did it happen twice?
went to
happened
North
once.
Carolina twice.
Oh no! I'm talking about my K. Oh well, my that wasn't my K series fault.
Yeah.
That was a brake tucking fault.
No.
I relocated the proportioning valve, and there was some issue there that we later on resolved. That was
No.
my Blue Integra.
B series, I think B series is just superior. It's just
That
so
was
simple.
that had nothing to do with
It's been like engineered to perfection. Like it's
Agree
not gonna
to
get better
disagree.
than an engine that's made for a car. Like
Nah, agree to disagree. K series
there's no agree to
superior as
disagree.
far as power and as far as
The
reliability.
fastest car in the, Honda in the world is a B series.
But if we're talking budget to budget, the K series is going to be superior.
Not necessarily. Engine mounts for your just to put a K series in the car.
That's
is over
because
$500-600
that's
for like good quality stuff.
That's great quality. It pays off. You could go on eBay and order mounts for $200. Never done
You
it.
could get them
wouldn't do
for
it.
Integra for a lot less. I just think B series is always going to be like the way to go in my
For
opinion.
him, yeah. For me, I don't think so. Because the crazy part is we've seen multiple circumstances where a stock motor with a turbo kit on a K series makes 400, 500 plus reliably. Reliably.
I think you're missing the reliable aspect of it. Does it make 300, 500 for whatever horsepower easily?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
And so does it, but so does an Integra. So does a GSR.
I don't think so. Either way, we
The
could go on
fastest
about
car,
this. This is
the
a debate.
fastest car
I do like
in
K
the
series.
world to run a quarter mile, Honda, is a B series car. It's not a K series car. B series is the best. And if you go dollar for dollar, sure, you could probably go faster for less on a K series.
100%.
But at the end of the day, B series is still the meta. It's still like the
Agree to
the
disagree.
center
on this
of Hondas.
one. Agree to disagree.
You can't
Completely.
You could agree to be wrong, sure, like but
Either way, there's no wrong answer.
B series is definitely the way to go.
So, besides that SI, I don't see it going anywhere. I do think that car will stay B series.
This is better.
I would say that. Besides that, I have a problem keeping cars. To be honest, the BMW, I do feel like we put it together. Hopefully, I enjoy that car enough to make me want to keep it. But I don't keep cars.
Yeah, so just go over everything as a whole. So we started off with, explaining why we've been gone. Then we jumped right into where they've been. So like a bunch of just a little series going about where cars have been over the last year and a half since we've recorded. And then we transitioned into working on this $500 Civic. I will be honest, I never got rear-ended. I just bought the car. It was just like a cool idea for like a TikTok that didn't go viral at all. So
Yeah.
it was a failed attempt, but I bought it for $500, and I think as of now I'm into the car $800
With a blown motor.
With the blown motor. I did just talk to somebody that I could either get a motor for $100 or cheaper. But with that being said, with everything going on right now and how many cars I have, I did have to have a sit down and kind of talk to myself, because having 8 Integras or having all these cars isn't really like realistic, especially because I do plan on owning a lot more of like my dream cars or like cars like I've always had interest in. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna have to purge some of my cars to be able to make way for others. And throughout all of this, I've realized that, much like he said, buying a car that is in good like physical shape, has a great paint job or a good paint job, has good body work, paying $5,000 for a shell that needs an engine and like an interior, like supersedes buying a Beat Integra for $500 because it needs, because it was stolen and needs a front end.
Yeah.
But in order to get that $500 Integra to that $5,000 shell, I now have to spend an immense amount of time, resources, and money just to try to match that same where I could have started at the same point. So I've learned that. So therefore,
I agree with that 100%.
I think that the RS, not the RS, the SC, may be on the chopping block, because I feel like for what I could get for that car, and I put a little bit of money on top, I could find myself a very good starting base. Maybe something that I don't have to convert to manual. Maybe something that has a better interior and a better exterior. So
yeah, because there's just that car. That car, you don't know where to start.
no, I mean, I know exactly where to start, but it's like things are expensive, and at the same point, like I just said, literally, why would I spend, you know,
$5,000.
$5,000 on a $2,000 car when I could just buy a $7,000 car that has everything, like has a great base for me to start and has many of the things that I would like to do to it already done, which means
Yeah.
I could just build off of that platform. So yeah, like it's bought, not built, but at the end of the day, it's just from like a goal standpoint. If that's a car I want to own and goals I want to reach for that car, I'd rather just have at least a better base where like I don't have to worry about quarter panel being pushed in. I don't have to worry about the suspension having 265,000 miles, the interior being completely obliterated, head gasket leaking, EGR things. I just rather get into something that's either 100% bone stock and in good condition, like 100,000 miles or lower, than exactly what I got into, because I got into it for $2,000 bone stock. I'm into it well over that now, and I think at the end of the day, I think I'll end up losing like $1,500, if not more, depending how the state the car is when I try to sell it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've learned a lot. I think
I think we both have on that aspect of things, because now we're a
you
lot.
just keep selling cars. You haven't bought anything worth talking about.
Recently, no, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also see, I was in his shoes where I said that the reality is I'm purging cars, because I had 7-8 cars a year ago, less than a year ago, and then I just started selling them just because it became.
But like you never had. I don't think you've ever had like 5 or 6 different cars with like goals on keeping them.
I never put a car together with the intention of selling it later. That's the reality of it. Is I never put a car together.
That's not true.
Okay, besides the last Blue SI. Last Blue SI, I was so fed up with all the, like, we were days into it, and I had enough. The car wasn't what it seemed, but it was a lot cleaner than the other one. But then at the end of the day, I made out. But
Another lesson learned, that like instead of looking for like exactly what I'm
I
talking
made
about,
out on that though.
no, sure, but instead of me, like it's like conflicting, because like then you talk about like, yeah, I saw this car and buy one for 7,000 that's in better condition, but at the same time is if I spend that 5,000 on this $2,000 car, this $2,000 car may be better than that $7,000 car. It's just but for me it's more about like the bones. So if I have a car with a nice clean body that just probably, if it just needs like, you know, like bumpers and stuff like that, like I could do that. But if it needs like body work and it's been already hacked up and it needs all the suspension bushings like replaced and stuff like that, like I don't want to do that, because that's things that you upgrade slowly as you build the car, not something that you want to spend like $1,000 just replacing bushings because everything else in the car is completely worn out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
So I guess it's like a scale.
It teeter-totters, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on a circumstantial basis too, because
Of course.
some cars are such a good deal that it's not worth passing up, because you know you won't be able to assemble this car for you won't be able to have a final product anywhere near the total, which is how I ended up with this FA5.
But that's not always true. That's what I'm saying.
But in most cases it is.
But no.
In some cases it is. You're right.
When
It's
you
not always true.
when you sit down, like the SC300 is like the biggest. I mean, the biggest like.
L.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, I have rarely ever lost money on a car.
Me too.
And this is a car that I'm 100% gonna lose money on if I sell it. And it's at the time where I bought this car, SC300s were just soaring, pun intended, in price there. And again, I bought 2 cars to end up with 1 car.
Which at this point it might have been better off keeping the shell.
Yeah, because if I would have spent the $2,000 I paid for the car, and then I would have spent all the other money, like let's say I would have spent like $5,000-$6,000, or like let's say like $4,000 probably.
Yeah.
I spent together, I could have made that shell, and that shell for the body was actually really clean.
Really, really clean.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
wasn't running or driving. Now that
But it was like hacked. I won't say hacked up, but it was like
the wiring was a
excessively,
nightmare.
like, modified, and being a chassis I had no experience with at all. I just didn't want to jump into that.
Yeah.
I was very, very skeptical of it, which I ultimately parted the car out.
All right, next topic.
So
Track day.
okay. So yeah, I mean, I blew my engine. It was honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, my experience might have been a 5. It was just a lot rougher than I expected. My car was just all over the place.
Which I warned him on.
Which I feel like I just didn't set my car up properly, or like I had different expectations of my car, so I just didn't enjoy it as much as I could have.
Yeah.
But I still drove the car home, and the car's it's been in front of my house ever since.
Well, there's not much you could do with a blow motor.
No, yeah, but I mean, the plans on that car are very, very up in the air, because since I have so many cars, I think I still want to keep like a race, like
Chassis.
race car.
Yeah, a car that you could thrash.
Yeah, a
It's
car I could
literally a
like throw
thrash.
around. But
I don't think you'd be that upset if you crashed that car into a wall.
I don't think that that's gonna be one I keep.
I could tell you that from the beginning that wasn't going to be a car you kept.
I feel like I'm just too attached to like Integras.
Hmm.
That I mean, the Civic is a great deal. Like, I could keep the Civic because I could develop that Civic exactly to one. Because remember, it's a $500 car, and yeah, it has 230,000 miles. But then, if it's a car I'm developing, I'm gonna be replacing those bushings anyways.
Yeah, but
Which
you
the
know,
guy before me did a lot of like.
we'll be very vague on this, but I don't think you need 3 Integras. I don't think you need to keep 3 Integras. Being that 2 of them are going to be so upscale, I don't think the third one is going to ever meet your expectations as far as anything. We don't have to go into that a little further.
No.
We'll leave that up in the air for you guys.
I think I do. I think that there's 2 where like I mean I guess I'll just leave it at that. There's 2 that are gonna like coincide a lot, but they could be taken different directions and still end up with 3 completely different aspects of them.
Yeah. As far as I can say, as track, my EM1 is going to take a beating for some time because I'm not going to miss a track day. Like that's just. I think that I don't think I'll be as aggressive with that car, but I do. I've enjoyed very much the whole track. This is my second one. We did one autocross last year, which I also had a lot of fun in, and it's actually something very enjoyable. So, being that it's so inexpensive, once you get licensed, it's like $100.
Yeah, and it's only once a month too.
Yeah, it's $100 once a month. You go out there, and you just hope that your car makes it through the event. I mean, I'll be honest. His car blew up, but
I knew, but like I went in there like expecting to like
something,
either like
yeah.
tow my car home or like barely make it home.
Yeah,
so.
and which honestly you have to go in there with that expectation. I remember when we spoke the first time I took the blue Civic over there, and I literally said I was like, worst case scenario, I'll swap the motor, because it's just the you have to go in there with the understanding that that it's possible. These cars and that one track event where we were at, I think that was like a week or 2 ago. A lot of cars blew up. A lot of cars blew
Yeah,
up.
some cars crashed, like
Yeah.
expensive cars.
It was like so when you look at everything, I want to say that at least 5 or 6 cars actually blew up, like blew their motors. So
Yeah,
and it was all like within the first session. So he made it in that car through
Yeah.
the first session, which
Yeah, I
is
think
great.
the worst car that blew up was probably that CTSV, because that thing was
Yeah.
heavy. There was
Again,
like 4 guys pushing
yeah.
it, pushing into like a tiny little trailer.
It looked like a landscaping trailer.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was sketchy, but so many cars blew up that it was crazy. The track was actually pretty empty for the open session, and I went out a couple times and I had a great time. Now we're not competing. This is just purely
it's
seat
just an
time.
open
Yeah,
track.
there's no timing. I think moving forward, I don't know if it's going to be this race season or next one. We will try to time ourselves and everything. But right now, he has to get it. Well, we both have to get chassis that we can and see the improvement on. I think that's one thing that we need to focus on, having a car dedicated to that, because we can't switch cars constantly and expect us to be good at it, because every car handles differently.
Yeah.
And even like from I had to put fresh tires on. You guys saw the update on the FA5 in less than 5,000 miles, less than 3,000 miles. I had to replace 2 tires, and I had to realign the car. Like the car took a beating in that time frame. I went through brand new tires, tires that they're not track tires, but they're extreme summer tires, completely demolished in
Yeah,
2 tracks
They
and
were
2 track
showing-
events.
They were showing wire, yeah.
Yeah. So that we did get. I think the feedback on that was great. I think we still have footage from that we weren't able to upload, but I had a lot of fun. I think we all did, and I plan on doing more frequently. And I'm glad to see that there's more retention. That was one of our highest retention videos as well.
Yeah. With that being said, that's like basically the wrap up of the month. We went over basically all the series and everything. And with that being said, I think that moving forward, I think it would be very unattainable for us to release a video
Yeah.
every day
This was crazy.
for like the next couple months. In a perfect world, if we were like 17, sure,
With no
but
responsibilities.
we're adults
yeah.
that have a lot of responsibilities. So I think we're gonna try to aim for 3 videos, but guarantee a minimum of 2.
Yeah.
The schedule, we're not sure of.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try to stick to a certain schedule. Definitely gonna be in the afternoons, during the week, and maybe 1 video in the
Yeah.
morning and the weekends. Maybe we'll go through our videos and see which
We
one
got the
had
most response. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to try to like map it out, because we did have, I think, 3 weekends, so there's 6 different videos that were posted that we could see what retained and what didn't. So
We still have plenty to show you guys.
yeah,
I think.
there's honestly, there was a lot of videos that we kind of just last minute put together because we just didn't have the time to do things. So there's like a lot, but
You want to tell them?
no,
You don't want to tell them?
no, because I don't know what you're talking about.
The last 2 videos were supposed to be.
No,
You guys
no,
are
I
gonna
think that'll be a good surprise and that'll be great for the channel. So,
Yeah.
so
epic things coming. I mean,
yeah.
just understand that this is this is something we do as a hobby more than anything. So it's very hard to actually schedule this around our lives. Although we really do enjoy this, and I think this time around is something that we're learning to manage, is how we're gonna go through this and still enjoy it, because when we try to force things, it's just not.
Yeah, that, and then also I think it's very unpractical for 2 guys who have lived 2 different lives to just be together for certain, like 3 times a week for videos. I think that you will be seeing more of one-on-one videos, just based on availability. You know, if we're available to work on it together, we will. But if I'm away or I'm not available, and vice versa, we will still, I believe, keep our promise to put videos out for you guys, regardless of if we're together or not at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We have so much stuff to do that we can do that and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and we have different locations where we can work on cars that don't interlock. We do have multiple recording devices, so we could even simultaneously do things so that we could keep our promise and keep our, not commitment, but our
Responsibility and
consistency
consistency. Yeah.
out to you guys. So with that being said, I want to say I'm very, very grateful. I want to thank all our subscribers. Welcome to the new 46 subscribers to our channel. And I just hope that you guys share with your friends. If you guys are enjoying it, give us feedback, because we're willing to grow. We want to grow with you guys, and I'm just grateful.
And I'll say the same thing. We appreciate everything. This gave us the motivation to keep going, keep moving forward with the channel and everything. And I think that if you guys do stay tuned, we have some pretty cool things.
I think we showed you guys probably like the worst of the worst.
Yeah, we still have. I'll give you guys this hint. We still have 2 very top tier cars that we're going to be building, but when they're going to be released, I don't know. We have plenty of stuff that we have left hanging that we need to get out the way so we can focus on these things, because I think it ultimately comes down to that.
Yeah, I think those, like the green car, is a car that I just need a lot of time and resources to get to. So if I could get rid of all these distractions and put all my
Ducks
ducks in a row or stuff like that, then we can be able to like provide like top quality content.
And which is our goal. So that was actually, I realized at one point when I had too many cars, I was just spread out. I wanted to do this with this car. I'm trying to build this car in my head. I'm trying to build this car. So now that I have one car, I can focus on that one car. Now the SI is not going to be anything crazy. There's going to be suspension upgrades and I'll be able to drive that thing, because that thing's obnoxious. But other than that, just tune in. We're excited to go on this journey with you guys.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in, and see you guys on the next one.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.